I'm back again at the Volkov, and here we go shopping. Today I'm buying myself 2 new rods. So let's go. Of course, we always shop at the Volkov, because here the prices are always 100%. Always the normal price, and in addition, everything is usually available here. What am I buying today? 2 new rods for carp fishing, and not just any rods, because I already have carp rods. Today I'm getting myself 2 new telescopic rods. 2 new rods because I already have the third one. 1, 2, and now in total I have 3 times the Inferno 800. What makes the Inferno 800 so special? We have here the strongest carp telescopic rod in the game. With a load capacity of 25 kilograms and a length of 8 meters, we can use it excellently also for carp fishing. Now we have to put the setup together, of course, and for that, we need the right line. And as line for a telescopic rod, we naturally use monofilament because we also want to use the stretching effect of the line when pole fishing to tire a fish during the fight. So let's grab, for example, the power line. Here we already see a maximum load capacity of 24.6 kilograms, and I'll take 2 more of those. And with this setup, we go now to Amber Lake for carp. Yes, and here we slowly arrive at one of the absolute classics, the classic spot for float fishing. This spot is essential for all float anglers for carp, and that's why I ran here first. Another option is directly at the pier in front, or also at the other piers. That always works well too. So there are different places, different spots that one as telescopic angler, as float angler, naturally uses here at Amber Lake. I had already put the telescopic rod together before, so this is the setup I already had. But now I'll quickly put it together again, this time a little more basic. So I'm not doing anything special with boilies here, but just using a simple carp fishing combination that usually works well. Just with monofilament, a simple float, size 1 hook, corn porridge, and honey dough. And we'll just cast that out here, say at 180 meter depth. That usually fits quite well. And then out with it. And with that, we already have the first float in the water, the first telescopic rod. And now that gives me the time, or does it not give me the time? Did it start right away? It starts immediately. That's insane. It starts right away here with the telescopic rod and not hooked. You see? With telescopic rods, you really need to practice a bit, and you really have to focus on it. So loosen the line a little so I can lift the rod again, and then we'll build the next setup right here. 24.6 kilogram main line. I set the whole thing again to a sliding float rig. Then I use this float here, again with a size 1 hook. And of course, we'll also do the same with the third setup. But first, let's check the first float again, because it's already active here. Something seems to be happening right away. That's not bad at all. Of course, I'll gladly take that. Without ground bait mix, without anything here at this spot. Okay, it stops again. So the carp are definitely here. And now we cast out with the third float. And this time I throw the first one really far out. So now we have all 3 floats nicely at one position, and in the middle it starts again immediately. Yes, I'm super curious what will happen now. Nice with float. The nice thing is, with carp fishing you can of course also make good records. And then with the heavy carp setup, go for pole fishing records at all waters. And with the heaviest rods, with the heaviest and biggest telescopic rods, you naturally have the best chance to pull something into the records. The rods have a load capacity of 25 kilograms. And if I'm not mistaken, some months ago there was a correction of the numbers. So what was displayed was rounded up and down. Not corrected, but basically rounded. And accordingly with some rods and reels, the numbers are now slightly different. And if I'm not mistaken, years ago, this rod still had 25.1 kilo load capacity. That would mean, theoretically, we could go in exactly with 25 kilos. That means we'd still have 400 grams. But for me, the risk is too big. I just use the 24.6 mainline, this monofilament, for this rubber effect. Why such a big spool? Because the wear on the line is always calculated based on the total meters. If I have 300 meter line here, I have significantly less wear. And it goes on again right here. Yes, I actually have to get used to it a bit, but I just felt like doing something different again in the game. And well, because you try something new from time to time, of course, every now and then you get a new trophy just because you try another fishing style. And there it goes again. Yes. So from the position, as I said, this is one of the most important and classic spots here for pole fishing at Amber Lake. Now the question is, which baits are best here? And of course you can also use the classic hair rig for carp. That was revised a few months ago. You don't have the pop-up rig anymore, and you no longer have to bring the boilies all the way down to the ground first, because otherwise the float would sink. That was a bit strange before. Now it's set properly again. But we don't have corn kernels anymore. Pop-up corn used to work really well for quite a long time. And yes, now we either have to try with doughs or just with sinking boilies. But that also works really well. And what you can also use well are the soluble series of boilies. So just buy the whole soluble series and experiment with it, especially the smaller sizes. That can really be worth it. Well, look, I have to say, for just throwing out and seeing what happens, it's not bad at all. Of course, so far no huge trophy or anything special has come in, but the first fish are there. It can start. Nice pole fishing here with the big fat rods, and then trying to pull out the big carp, maybe making one or another record, and bam, directly out again. If you haven't noticed yet, where are we on the map? This is all the way up here. The position has the advantage, and you can see that on the map when you look at it. Where are those places where the deep spot is very close to the shore? These are the important spots, where as a pole angler you can position yourself very well. By the way, it's the same at the Yama, for example. If you want to go pole fishing there, you can do it the same way. There are always places where you can, yes, and there he is, where you can cast out very nicely from the shore with these 8M long poles into the deep areas. So come here. Mirror carp, again mirror carp, yes, often also found in midwater. So with float, definitely an option. Yes, that's about it. So let's get into the big pole fishing with the really big telescopic rods. And now it's all about searching and testing with these telescopic rods, because as I said already, in the last videos about float fishing, float anglers rarely reveal their record spots. That means you really have to try and test a lot yourself and see where something can bite. Well, look, the common carp are definitely already here. I'll keep fishing a bit, testing some more. The frequency is not bad at all. The sizes, yes, are getting bigger and bigger, so it's working. First, nice linear carp. I'd love to get more of those. And just now you can see it really well, that bounce, that rubber effect. That's the reason why you fish with monofilament here, because then even the bigger fish are tamed by this rubber effect. Try out, test, test, test. Get on the telescopic rod. If you feel like it, of course, then with the heaviest gear. And if you liked it, leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And then we'll see each other in the next video. Until then, tight lines.